There are 3 areas in New World that I would say are good for farming hemp or fibers, so you could be crafting all of your cloth items. The first and most obvious one should be Windwood. So if you guys haven't been here before, this area here is kind of just to the west of Windwood, has quite a lot of hemp to be farmed right there. It does also spread down to the south as well, so if you find somebody's like running around in this area and you're kind of low level, you don't want to come to any of the other areas that I suggest, then coming to the south a little bit here, you can still get yourself some hemp right here if this happens to be a little bit too busy for you. Another place that I think is good to mention, but is not ideal in my opinion, is right to the north. This is quite a high level area, but you shouldn't really have to fight too many enemies. But if you come to the Rock of Apophis right here, out this way, below the trees, you'll find a good amount of hemp here. It's not like an amazingly loopable route or anything, but there is a good amount there just in case the place that I'm going to suggest to you guys is busy or taken. That brings us to the best place to go then, and that is to the north of Restless Shore. This kind of includes a little bit of Morningdale as well, but we're going to go ahead and fast travel to the Shrine of Sisyphus. Additionally, with this particular resource, I find that coming into your settings and turning them right down helps with spotting the hemp. So you can see mine's on really low. I probably could add like draw distance into something, but that should kind of show you that in the distance right there, because all of the foliage is cut back, I can actually already see that we have some hemp available to farm right now. That's just like a good tip for me so that you can see what you're doing. First up though, we want to check behind the fast travel point. This is usually harvested because obviously everybody comes to this point. And from here, as you might imagine, because we just pointed at some, we are going to head on over to the west. Now, I'm probably going to get overtaken by somebody at some point because this place is popular, but you can see we're just directly to the west here. I'm going to harvest this, and you might see just over the road there, we have even more available. And we are just going to continue down the road. In fact, you can see it starting to stack up for us, look, as you look down the road. And we are going to continue down the road and then stick on the northern side of the road and come all the way up into this corner of the crag here. That's what we're going to do. It's going to be quite a lot of hemp along the way. Once you reach this endpoint, then we're actually going to turn around, and now we're going to come up through the center of these 2 rocky outcroppings right here. You should almost have a straight line of hemp heading to kind of like a northeastern direction as we come on up the hill here. So we're just going to go ahead and grab all that. As we get to the top of the hill, because our graphic settings are so low, you can see all of the sprigs of gatherable material here out in the bowl just ahead of us. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to head to the left first and just follow that around, as you can see. And there are, of course, higher tiers of fiber here for those that want it, but in this particular video, we are just concentrating on the normal fibers. As you loot your way up the field, then you should come to a pond, which gives us a fairly decent landmark. And from here, we just want to make sure that we go to the east of it, where we should get another bunch of fibers, which appear to be gone at the moment. So what we're going to do is we're going to choose to cross the water. Once we're out here, we have way more of the fibers to collect, so we'll do that. And then it's going to be a good idea to just check below where the rocks are. Seems like I have a competitor right now, so probably not going to be too much more for me to gather in this particular video, but we do have some down here because a lot of people missed this one. So we have, of course, cleared up from the road, come to the right a little bit and gone into the rock. Now we want to head north and loop around this area and then to the road along the outside of this point of interest, the Marsic right here. But don't bother with going into the darker green area. The hemp does not seem to grow in there. Oh, still got plenty left on this field, look. Once we made it around to where the road is, then we actually want to cross over to this point where we have another set of fibers that we should be able to gather. These ones appear to have been harvested. But we're going to head north now along the road. There are some other bits and bobs that we could collect, but I prefer to keep the route in a bit of a cycle so that we can repeat it as much as we want. You can already see the next set along the road, though, and the set after that, because we've lowered the graphics so much they stick out like a sore thumb. Once we've cleared this part, then, the best thing to do is head back into town so that we can fast travel back to the start and continue doing the loop. This one takes around 10 minutes. This video in total recording with no pauses has been 14 minutes before editing. So even with me doing the extra speech and that kind of thing, yeah, 10 minutes to run and you'll get thousands of fibers.